Assalamu alaikum and hello everyone, dear Dr. Ramiza and my fellow friends. My name is Nurhan Imad and my metric number is 195595, and I'm going to talk about the introduction and the purpose of the journal article that we are going to write the report about, which is Identity Constructions of ESP Teachers in a Chinese University, which was written by Tracy and Andy. Practical applications which is offered by ESP teachers in the higher educational level have strongly been affected by the educational changes that is happening daily all around the world. The change and evaluation in ESP teachers' way of teaching depends on the environment and the needs of the students. This study discusses the difficulties that an ESP teachers face depending on the changes of preceptorial changes. To explain and expand the understanding of the conflicts that ESP teachers face in the study, the writers focused on the needs of English language students in one country, which is China. They started by explaining the changes that happens in the higher educational level, which is universities. The continuous improvement happening to English language teaching, TESOL, in China have counted as the general expectations to be expected from graduates of higher education that needs to use the language in an effective international aspects. Therefore, ESP is a must to improve the students' thinking and using of English language. ESP teachers could confront many quandaries such as over-knowledge that they need but don't have, a colleague that may have the knowledge and is competitive. Another struggle which face an English teacher is the lack of opportunities to improve during in service. A challenge is the pressure in academia to rapidly and continually publish academic work to sustain or further one's career. ESP teachers face a problem while delivering their knowledge to learners, which is unconnected study to the cultural aspects. Learners don't usually understand the input if it doesn't goes together with their culture and lifestyle. Difficulties facing ESP teachers are real and huge. The purpose of the study is to focus on ESP teachers' identity conflicts that they face while also explaining how becoming an ESP teacher is difficult. Thank you very much.
Hi, my name is Muhammad Najmi bin Dahlan and I will be presenting on the research question. As we all know, research question focuses the study and it also determines the methodology. So, in this journal article, the research question is how did English teachers construct their ESP teacher identities? So, in Chinese universities, there's actually a reformation of English language education where the college graduates should be able to use English in a wide range of international communication activities. So, this ESP teaching is considered as the key path, which means that the English teachers should become increasingly involved in teaching a range of ESP subjects, even though this may require skills beyond their primary English language teaching ELT expertise. Thus, this inquiry will determine on how these English teachers construct their ESP teacher identities. Okay, so now we move on to the participant of the study. The participant in this study is the teachers who is majoring in English program. The participants study English literature or linguistics at the postgraduate level and were then certified through general teacher education before they begin teaching English. So, here is the biographic information of the participants.
Hi, I'm Chloe. I'm continuing to the part of the instrument. The participants are invited to the life history interview, which are conducted to elicit each participant's life story with a focus on learning, teaching, and work experiences that have proven critical to teacher identity information. And the life history interview method was used because it allowed participants to provide respective accounts of their experiences, helps the researchers capture their voices, and enhance our understanding of their professional experiences. And plus, the interviews were guided by a list of open-ended questions concerning the participants' experiences. In the interviews, the participants were also encouraged to bring up their own topics that were relevant with the identity information. Moreover, the interviews were all conducted in Putonghua, which is the standard Mandarin, because all of the participants here first languages are Mandarin, so it also avoids the language barriers in communication. And all interviews were audio recorded except for one in which the participant declined to give consent for recording. And for this latter interview, the first author took notes, while for the others, she transcribed all recordings verbatim, sorted the interview notes, and translated selected excerpts into English. So the translated excerpts were then checked for accuracy by the seven authors. So these are the instrument of our research. Thank you.
Hello and a very good evening. My name is Muhammad Haris bin Azahar. My matrix number is 194480. I will be presenting about the data analysis for our group presentation. So, the data collected from the journal article was analyzed in two steps. The first step, a biographic approach was adapted to gain a global understanding of each participant's life history. Each interview was summarized into a mini biography which forms the baseline data for the study. In the second step, a paradigmatic approach was used to combine an top-down and bottom-up methods for analysis and interpretation for the interview data. Next, a set of working categories were created to organize the data. After the interview, the data was sifted and divided into big chunks. Content analysis techniques were applied to identify subthemes within each category.
Hello everyone, my name is Zhang Yi. My metric number is 194958. I'm going to talk about the findings and discussion about our journal, which concerns identity constructions of ESP teachers in a Chinese university. At first, our findings show the incongruent ways in which the societal context and the institutional setting mediate the identity construction of language teachers, and provide empirical evidence of the importance of drawing analytical boundaries among different layers of contextual conditions. Although institutions are embedded in the societal context and certain institutional practices accommodate emergent societal needs, they do have self-contained characteristics that mediate the manner in which teachers construct their identity in distinctive and significant ways. On the other hand, their construction of professional identities is undermined by the marginalized status of ESP, as imposed by the institution, as English language teachers are increasingly expected to equip university graduates with ESP skills in diverse educational contexts. More attention and support are needed to facilitate ESP teachers' professional development and hence identity formation. And to illustrate some aspects of these complexities of the five. Here are 5 frames of their teacher identity: instructional frame, disciplinary frame, professional frame, vocational frame, and economic frame. Next is the discussion part. The participants struggle for and construction of an identity presents a complex picture of the professional lives of ESP teachers in a Chinese university, and one that may very well reflect the lives of ESP teachers elsewhere. Their life history accounts reveal that becoming an ESP teacher not only altered their industrial practices in the classroom, but also transformed their professional lives, as reflected in the different frames of teachers' identities. For example, our study finds that ESP teachers are evaluated on the basis of research output at the university, in line with the mission to produce and disseminate knowledge. And this shapes how they participate and position themselves in the workplace. ESP teachers are also social agents in the societal context. In particular, their ongoing engagement with workplace ensures their comprehension of real societal needs that not only inform teaching engagement, but also shore up the self-perceived meaningfulness of ESP teaching, which feeds back into their identity development. So that's all from me. Thank you.